What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another video for you today. Today we are going to be giving you the top 5 landing spots for quarterback Deshaun Watson, as he has said that he wants to leave the Houston Texans. We're going to break down each position that we think he is going to end up and tell you what the package will be for each team to give up. All that and much more coming your way right now. All right, Nick, listen, Deshaun Watson, it's a hefty name to be on the trade market right now. And with a hefty name comes a hefty price.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kick it off. I honestly want to get started with one of the better suitors that I think that will definitely take a look at Deshaun Watson's availability, the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, for all of you Niners fans out there, you understand what you have in Jimmy G. And you may say this is the year that he got hurt and the year before he took you to the Super Bowl. Well, that's all well and good. But at the end of the day, Jimmy G just ain't it. He isn't that guy. Deshaun Watson is leaps and bounds better than Jimmy Garoppolo. And there is no question to that statement. I mean, zero. If you're questioning it, then you really don't know football. So I proposed a package that would land Deshaun Watson, pry him away from the Houston Texans, and get him in San Francisco 49er gear. Okay, so the package for me would be 2 first-round draft picks and Jimmy Garoppolo to the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson. I believe that is the price that it is going to take to get Deshaun Watson away from Houston and into the palms of San Francisco. He is already locked up into a long-term deal. There is no reason you guys have to worry about that. He's not going to go away anytime soon. Him and Kyle Shanahan are going to have an incredible future together. That offense with that quarterback is going to be unstoppable. I mean, that is going to be the definition of the scariest offense in the league. You add George Kittle to the mix, the entire backfield of running backs that they tend to throw out there week in and week out. This San Francisco 49ers team would be immensely improved with Deshaun Watson, and they would do even better than they could if they kept their pick and then ended up drafting it. So I believe the San Francisco 49ers need to make this trade.
Yeah, no, 49ers are definitely a solid landing spot. And it's a great sign for the 49ers because they actually get a quarterback they know can do it and has proven it. Jimmy Garoppolo has not proven that. He has no clutch gene in his body. He deserves to go somewhere like Houston where he can work with a team that is rebuilding. You know, that it's a place where players are going to go die off. They're the new Raiders of the league. And I don't see a fit for Jimmy Garoppolo other than Houston. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Another team that I think that Deshaun Watson could end up is the Miami Dolphins. And this has been a hot topic lately, right? A lot of people have been talking about Tua and if he can do it. You know, he was benched twice this season. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in and he looked so much better than Tua. Do we know if it's Tua? Is it the system? What's going on there? But there's some rumors swirling that it's not working out. And this is the perfect time. You've got Deshaun Watson who's upset. He doesn't really want to be there. He's on the fence. Make the trade. Miami has the draft capital. They have Tua. There's so much going for him. So the trade I have proposed for this is Miami is going to send off their 2 first-round picks, which includes the Texans pick that was in the Laramie Tunsil trade. So Texans received their 3rd overall pick back on top of Tua. So the Houston gets a haul, right? They get the number 3 pick. They get Miami's pick in the early 20s. And then they get Tua Tagovailoa, who is only had 1 year in the league. He has so much potential. He has a Houston Texans team that is ready to be rebuilt, and he's the perfect guy for that. So I think this is a great spot for him to land.
Yeah, I mean, players have already come out in Miami and said that they don't believe in Tua, and that is not a good sign coming out of his rookie year. So I would definitely be skeptical to bring him back. I think Tua to the Texans could be something to watch out for. I know a lot of people have already speculated about it, but listen, Watson's unhappy and people don't believe in Tua. Might as well make a switch and see what can happen, right? I want to take your trade package. I want to raise you a little bit. I want to
All right.
stick in the AFC East here. And for my next landing spot, I believe that the New York Jets will actually make a very dark horse run at Deshaun Watson. You talk about the 2 first-round picks that the Miami Dolphins have. Well, let me tell you about the 2 first-round picks that the Jets have. The Jets have their first pick, which is the number 2 overall, and they have the Seattle pick, which Seattle just got ran over by the Rams. So, their pick is now set. They have their pick at number 2. So, you take Deshaun Watson, you trade him for Sam Darnold and those 2 first-round picks. And then if you're Houston, you take that number 2 overall pick and either you shore up the offensive line with Penny Sewell or get a massive star like Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith in there. And you have that other pick to fix some holes on defense, do whatever you need to do. But you have a lot of draft capital. And if you're the New York Jets, you finally get the goddamn quarterback you've been looking for. I mean, seriously, how many quarterbacks are we going to go around with? Since the Chad Pennington days, we haven't had a quarterback for more than 3.5, 4 years. It's been a roller coaster ride, and I think it's time that the New York Jets finally make the decision. They go out on a limb, they trade for Deshaun Watson, lock up their guy long term, and then build around him from there.
An even crazier idea would be the Jets trade the 2 firsts and Sam Darnold. The Texans take that number 2 and draft Justin Fields, who is Deshaun Watson 2.0, and then trade Sam Darnold for another first-round pick. I mean, how wild would that be? You get rid of Deshaun Watson just to get him back. That'd be pretty wild. But on top of it, you gain another first-round pick, and you have a huge trade asset in Sam Darnold. That'd be quite the story right there. I think another team that we really need to look at, and a team that is kind of flown underneath the radar, is the Indianapolis Colts, right? They just lost Phillip Rivers. They have a huge hole there, and they have some trade assets, right? They have a couple. They have the first round pick this year. They have their first round pick next year. But this team, they saw last year when they traded their pick to the 49ers for DeForest Buckner, how much that paid off. They got a bona fide star, and they didn't have to pay an extreme price for him. They're going to look at that and be like, hey, let's duplicate that. Let's do that again. Let's get rid of even 2 firsts now and go get a guaranteed franchise player in Deshaun Watson. Quarterback is one of the only holes they need to fill. Their defense is rock solid. That offense is ready to roll. They have some great talent on this team and very few holes to fill. I think moving a couple first-round picks is not a bad idea. It would not set this team back at all. The Indianapolis Colts would be a prime team, and they would be ready to make a Super Bowl run right away.
I think my only contention with that would be they're in the same division, and I can't imagine the Houston Texans want to bolster their division rival Indianapolis Colts with a star-studded quarterback who, like you said, is primed for a Super Bowl run at this point. They don't want to see him twice a year.
Yeah, that you're right. You're right. They don't, but you also have to think Nick Caserio, the new general manager for the Texans, he's not looking at it that way. He's looking at it as the Texans are a long-term rebuild. They are not going to be competitive in this division for a little while. By the time this team, the Houston Texans, are competitive, Deshaun Watson is going to be on a team where he's not surrounded by as much talent. Those players that he does well with are going to get paid. The Indianapolis Colts can't pay them. And so the Indianapolis Colts are going to go through their run in the division, and then by the time the Texans are ready to compete, the Indianapolis Colts will be beneath them.
That's some definite foreshadowing that we got going on here. But I'm glad you bring up Nick Caserio because my fifth and final team is always rumored to be in the mix for whatever player comes around. I'm sure you guys have seen the gifs and the memes about him. But you know what? The New England Patriots, I think you have to throw them in there as at least a dark horse because they sniff around any single player that comes available. And Bill's admiration for a player like Deshaun Watson. He knows and understands what the quarterback position can do for this franchise. And getting Deshaun Watson and his propensity to trade draft capital for absolutely nothing, now trade it for Deshaun Watson. I mean, let's be real here. So I believe that the package for the New England Patriots would be the 2021 first round pick, the 2022 first round pick, and cornerback Stephon Gilmore, who is on a 1 year rental, but he is only 1 year removed from Defensive Player of the Year status. I believe that the Houston Texans will utilize his talents to help shore up that defense. They're going to make sure that they can, defend the ball really well, keep that within the division. And then Deshaun Watson going to New England, Nick Caserio working with Bill Belichick. I mean, it's just a match made in heaven. I believe that the New England Patriots are the dark horse to land Deshaun Watson as our fifth and final option.
That would be quite the story. And I know that would make everybody in the NFL so pissed off. Can you imagine if the Patriots acquired Deshaun Watson and they're like, oh yeah, the Patriots, yeah, they're going to be dominating the AFC for the next 15 years. Again, you get a 1 year reprieve to enjoy the NFL, and now you get to enjoy the Patriots dominating for the next decade and a half.
Did they even have football this year since the Patriots weren't good? Or
True, yeah, I believe they canceled everything. The pandemic was going on. They didn't really want to ruin anything. Got to keep that Patriot dynasty alive.
Makes sense. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for listening and watching. Make sure to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. Over 75% of viewers still not subscribed to the channel. We greatly appreciate any support that you can give us. And for any of you who choose to comment, your comments will be featured in an upcoming video. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Hit the notification bell to be notified anytime we go live. That'll do it for now. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.